This is funny. Um, I look back, I look back at my life, and one of the things everybody in my
Luck with
family,
everything.
almost every single person in my family is musically inclined, and they can play instruments, and they can't even read music, but they can pick up an instrument and play it. So they could literally walk away from a piano and pick up a guitar, sit down at the drums, pick up a bass. And I inherited zero of that. So I made a hard commitment that I was going to try to get good at it. And what ended up happening is I didn't get good at it. I got frustrated at it. And so I got super frustrated at playing musical instruments, and to the point to where today I own guitars. I sold my drums. I don't own any musical instruments. Now the guitars I own are hanging up on the wall because they're sentimental, because they were my pop's when he was alive. So that was my one thing. I'm going to do my one share of things that I did not stick with when I got older. And there's times where even at my age, I'm like, I'm going to go pick that thing back up again and I'm going to get better at it. I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of the reasons why that happens. What are some reasons why we choose to not get good at something? Well, it goes back to what we talked about. I mean, just quite frankly, if I'm not interested in it, I'm going to lose interest in something. So I'd like to kind of share a little bit around this concept of interest for a moment and kind of talk about how interest plays a vital role into what we do every single day. When I look at this acronym, I want to talk about interested versus committed. And when we use the word interested versus committed, it all boils down to how do you think, right? What are your thoughts about something, right? And so it's what's in my head, how I think about something. And because what I think about causes me to, inside of here, feel a certain way about something, or it creates an emotion, an emotional attachment to or from something. And how I think determines how I feel, and how I feel will get me to taking action. I will take action on something based on how I feel about that. The action that I take will then give me a result. Well, here's the kicker, okay? Your result 100% of the time will always validate what you thought about it. So watch this. If I want to say an example, let's just talk about interested versus committed. And my company has adopted the 9 steps to a world-class phone experience at Blue Collar, the selling system. Here's how we answer the phone. And as a part of that, and I'm curious, how many people right now, you don't have to chat, but just by a show of hands, you've been through our Office Champions Academy? Okay, so I see some hands raised, right? Well, as a part of that, that we talk about scripting. And I might be like, whoa, hold on, Heidi. When you say scripting, I'm out. I'm not going to be scripted. And the reason why is because I've got this thought around what scripting is. And because I've got this thought around scripting, I do it, but I don't really feel good about doing it. I'm doing it because they told me to do it. Chris, they're checking for script compliance and seeing if I'm following every 9 steps and I'm saying this exactly every single time. And then it's getting you this action, but your action is 100% based on how you feel about it. And just let me say this, if I don't like it, I'm probably not going to have a positive emotion about it, which means when I do it, I'm really not going to do it the best of my ability. I'm just going to do it because I'm asked to do it. And then that's going to get me a result. And that result will always validate how I thought about it. So if you're here today and you use the word script, are you interested in getting better on the phones, or are you committed to getting better on the phones? If you're interested, then you'll just try to take away little nuggets here and there and be like, oh, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this. But if you're committed, you will, yeah, you sound scripted because you don't want to be scripted. Bonnie and as well, and the folks over at Mark Johnson, that was said so beautifully, and I appreciate that. I really do. And the way that I explain to people all the time, okay, is this: the script is the house. We build it. We tell you the number of bedrooms, we tell you all that. But when it comes to the interior, the flooring, the colors, the textures, the color of the cabinets, you get to do all that yourself. You get to pick that. And that's what allows the script to become you, right? It's still your house. Think about that. Somebody else built the house you live in, but you made it your house by putting your decor in it, your perspective, your likes, your dislikes are not in the house. It's the same way when it comes to scripting as well. And when you think about scripting and the process of scripting, it's easy to embrace when you come to the conclusion that it's not some piece of paper that I read from. That's not what scripting is. So when we look at being interested versus committed, the question that I ask on the thing that you got better at, there's a good chance you probably got worse at it before you got better, right? But the question that we have to ask ourselves is what made us stick with it? And I think it goes back to what we're saying today. Just being committed to something means that no matter what the outcome is, you're going to stick it out. Like you're going to do this. And I'm going to say this, and please, for everybody on the line, I don't want you to feel like I'm putting you in a bucket. I'm saying society as a collective group. This is everybody included. I believe as a whole, society struggles with commitment. And recognize, in the famous words of my favorite musician, every little thing is going to be all right. And your level of commitment to luck today is really about your level of commitment to hard work. I'm super grateful whether we get the opportunity to see you again virtually or I get to see you in person. Until then, I want you to take care and y'all be well.